What's up, Divine Masculine Collective? Thank you for joining me for your energy reading. My name is Keita. If it's your first time joining me, welcome. And if you are a returning tribe member, welcome back. I am going to be bringing forth an energy message for you guys. And when I tell you the downloads have been downloaded, the channelings have been channeling. So I got notes and they all over the place. So I'm gonna need y'all to bear with me and put your thinking caps on to try to piece together and keep up with what is about to come forward from my lips to your ears, because it's not organized in any shape, form, or fashion, but hopefully it'll make sense, right? So I did the feminine reading. That motherfucker was like 50 some odd minutes long. And for whatever reason, I've not been able to upload it. I've been trying to upload that reading for almost a week now. And it's steadily just saying uploading, check starting soon. Like YouTube's not fucking with me just by 111, which may be a significant angel number to you guys, which I've been seeing 111 a lot. But yeah, that reading would not upload. And I thought about breaking it into two parts. I really don't want to do that. So I think I'm going to just watch it again, take some notes, try to condense it, make it shorter, and hopefully I'll be able to upload it. So speaking of making it shorter, I'm needing to keep this one short to at least try to see if that was the issue with uploading it, because it was long. Although I should be able to upload a 50 some odd minute video and it should not take days. But anyway, the notes. The synchronicities have been off the chain. And one that has been standing out to me the most as it relates to divine masculine energy is this theme of family matters. Just saw 211. As masculines are learning to master how they show up in relationships and what type of relationships they're needing to entertain, to show up in, right? How relationships affect them in their journey of mastery. 11s represent mastery, twos represents like companionship, relationships, anything outside of self that you connect with. So it could even be your relationship with the divine. So 211 may be a symbolic or a significant angel number to you all, but this concept of family matters has been coming up for me drastically. First, I went to a poetry event, and here lately, when I set up at some of these vendor events, like a lot of the ones I've done here lately have not been let me not take the ones who have been for granted. Some of them have not been profitable financially, but there's always something that I'm able to take from it that shows me I was at the right place at the right time. So even though I didn't collect that coin, something came of it, right? So in this particular instance, I'm at a poetry event, and it was a really small crowd, something that's growing in the city or whatever. So I'm set up there and I'm like, oh, this ain't working out, right? But the host starts to sing the theme song to Family Matters. It's a poetry open mic event. So I thought that was not odd, because creatives do stuff like that, but it still like stood out to me. So if you've never seen the show Family Matters, the theme song is damn near as popular as the show. And I'm going to pull up the lyrics in just a second. But that was the first time I heard it, right? So I'm like, is he singing the theme song to Family Matters? So then the next day, my homegirl had sent me a video, unbeknownst to her, that I had just heard the song the night before, of a school choir singing the song Just Off 434, which is very significant because fours represents safety, security, stability, home, family, foundation. Threes representing alignment, and when you're going from that 4 energy to the 3 energy, that's aligning with a more profitable in sync, harmonious perspective of what foundation, safety, security, stability is for you. So 434 may be very symbolic to you all as well. That's all 511. That's causing some change, some conflict, mastering how you show up in conflict or in situations that require some upheaval in some way. So the second day, my homegirl sent me a video of a high school choir singing that very same theme song to Family Matters. So then I'm reading this passage in Sacred Contracts, which is one of the foundational books that I read at the beginning of when I became aware of being on a spiritual ascension journey, right? It's this book right here by Carolyn Mace. I've referenced it quite a bit because it is a very good book that covers chakras, archetypes, past lives, and having a sacred contract that we agree to before reincarnating or incarnating into this lifetime. Chock full of information. Definitely advise that you all check it out. And I actually did an episode of co-creating on the book, kind of giving a review. So if you want to watch that, check that out in the co-creating playlist. But the song lyrics go, it's a rare condition in this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper page. Love and tradition is the grand design. Some people say it's even harder to find. But there must be some magic. Hold on. No, not Drake. Family Matters. Family Matters theme song lyrics. Okay. We get to the part where I stop. Well, then there must be some magic clue inside these gentle walls. 'Cause all I see is a tower of dreams. Real love bursting out of every seam. As days go by, we're gonna fill our house with happiness. The moon may cry. We're gonna smother the blues with tenderness when days go by. There's room for you, room for me, for gentle hearts and opportunity. As days go by, it's the bigger love of the family. So that is the lyrics to the theme song for Family Matters, right? This song that at this point I had heard twice. So the lyrics are basically pointing to how rare it is to encounter good high vibrational energy, or like it says in the lyrics, read any good news on a newspaper page. So this is somebody acknowledging that it's a lot of low vibrational energy going on out here. It's a lot of drama and chaos, and every time you turn around, it's some negative shit on the news. Like people are dying, people are sick, there are wars and rumors of wars, and pointing out that love and tradition is the grand design. That's what we've been taught is to be of value, but that's rare. It's hard to find, right? And as days go by, it's getting even harder to find. It says there must be some magic clue inside these gentle walls, because all I see is a tower of dreams, real love bursting out of every seam. So this is someone who still has hope and dreams and aspirations for this concept of family and love, and the dream of real love bursting out of every seam. So whether this is just something that they've been taught, or they actually are connected to somebody who still gives them like hope and motivate that feeling within them, This is somebody feeling like even with everything that's going on, all is not lost, and still holding on to that concept of family being important. Just saw 1001, which is very symbolic to new beginnings um, and endings that take place in the twin flame journey, as well as 1010. So as days go by, we're going to fill our house with happiness. The moon may cry. We're going to smother the blues with tenderness. This is somebody that's just like as a family, choosing to be a unit. I see happiness. I see being able to make it through anything. I see being able to make the moon cry. Make the moon the source that governs our emotion, making it even more emotional and cry out. That's powerful. We're gonna smother the blues with tenderness, not being at war and at odds with one another, but being patient and vulnerable and tender with one another in a family unit, whatever that looks like for them, right? When days go by, there's room for you and room for me. Neither of us crowding each other out. We're creating space for each other. There's a sense of belonging in this unit, right? As days go by, it's the bigger love of the family, seeing the bigger picture and still having that healthy concepts of what family should be. So that's the end of the song. Keita, what the fuck this got to do with the divine masculine? I'm getting to it. So then I was led to read this page in the Sacred Contracts, which I was wanting to go through, and I'm still going back through one of the chapters in the book on the chakras, because eventually I'm wanting to do some more work with the collective on the chakras. And so I'm like, okay, let me brush up on my knowledge and go back over some of what I've already read. So I turned to one of the chapters on the chakras, and it starts with the 8th chakra, which is your soul star chakra, right up in here about you, that talks to connecting with your the Akashic records, your life purpose, the soul, and it's very helpful when it comes to recognizing and understanding signs and synchronicities that point you to those themes in your life purpose, your past lives, and things like that. So on the page 174, if you have the book, where it's talking about the soul star chakra, it says your chakras tell you in essence how you manage your power, which is another thing that is coming up for me with the divine masculine energies. And I've been seeing the word power, just power, a lot. Like I'm on the expressway on my way to, where was I going? I was going to some event that same weekend that I saw that the guy sung Family Matters and all of that, I think. And it was this truck on the side of me, an 18-wheeler, and it had the word power on the side of it. And that really stood out to me, because from that point on, I kept seeing that word. But it says your chakras tell you in essence how you manage your power. By looking at a different situation or event, past or current, through each of your chakras, you can determine where the problem lies and how to address them. One man I know named Mark has chosen to divorce his wife, despite great opposition from both of their families, who worry about the couple's children and whose religious beliefs oppose divorce. Mark is following through with the divorce because he feels he needs it to be healthy and fulfilled. So this is somebody that's like, yo, I understand that we're taught, just off 1414, that family and tradition is the grand design, as it says in that song, but I'm not happy in this dynamic. And in order for me to be healthy and fulfilled and make sure that my cup is full, I'm gonna have to divorce this situation. It says he and his wife married very young and have grown in opposite directions. So this is somebody who has come to understand that it's time to call a thing a thing. We've evolved, we've grown, and we've grown in different directions. And I am not, regardless of what I've been taught, to place as a value in my life or to measure my worth against. I am no longer wanting to be attached to this dynamic. So it says no longer sharing much of anything except for a cold civility. No kissing, no hugging, walking around the house like y'all barely know each other's business as usual. Like like Groundhog Day. Like waking up and having basically the same day over and over for the sake of living up to what society says makes a man or makes a woman in terms of family dynamics. From Mark's perspective, he also has to prevent his family from making his choices for him. He is able to use the positive energy of his first chakra, which regulates family matters, and his understanding of his victim archetype to withstand the resentment and guilt with which his tribal elders are trying to burden him. So this is somebody in a dynamic where you got people in your ear telling you don't leave your family. You got to sacrifice yourself, your happiness, your peace, your health for the sake of staying within this dynamic that is slowly killing you, that is draining your energy, that is serving as an energy vampire. It says he sees the potential to be victimized in this situation, but he also sees that his relatives are acting out of their own first chakra need to hold the family together at all costs. Be mindful how elders and others, people who you hold in high regard and value their opinion and their advice, project their own insecurities and victim mentality onto you in your situation. Because 9 times out of 10, they telling you, they giving you advice based on how they handle the situation, or based on patriarchal standards of living, right? And what it is to be a valuable, upstanding citizen. Meanwhile, they unhappy in their situation and they just passing that shit on to you. So you want to be mindful and also not be only be mindful of that, but what it is to be sovereign. To be, because family ain't just, a wife and some kids. It could be your allegiance to a parent. It could be your allegiance to a child. It could be your allegiance to a sibling and or your kinship, your relationship. But just because there's a relationship don't mean it's a healthy one. I, in this evolved state of being, have a new rule. If we can't have a healthy relationship that pours into me and that I can pour back into without feeling like I'm pouring into a cup with a hole in it, I don't want it. Don't worry about it. Because otherwise, it's draining me. It's not conducive to my life purpose. It's not in alignment with joy and delight in my life. And I'm going to live a joyful and delightful life. It's things that happen and occur and shit that's going to come about that we have really no control over. Like, shit gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like the song say, we living in a day and age where it's rare to get any good news on the newspaper page. It's shit going on already. But that which I can control, I'm no longer allowing low vibrational toxic shit to just pitch a tent, pave paradise, and put up a parking lot in my life. I got control over that. So no, and that is the advice for you all. And that is what Mark in this page is coming to embody and make decisions based on in his life. Mark says, shh, listen, I know y'all said this what it is, and this what it's supposed to be, and this is the measure of a man. I'm supposed to show up and pay these bills and take the kids to the park and pick them up from school, and I'm supposed to fix the plumbing or the refrigerator when it break down and cut the grass, but I ain't happy. And that's got to count for something. In order for me to have a healthy and fulfilled life, some gotta shake. So it says, I've made a full assessment of what I will face by moving forward with my choices. Mark done thought this thing through. He done explored all the options and how what the fallout of separating from his wife could be. He says, I know that no one will support me, and I'm prepared to live with the consequences because I cannot see living in an empty and bitter life. I've made arrangements to take care of my kids and my ex-wife. I will not abandon my financial responsibilities as a father. And I also hope that I can teach my children through my example that it is important to make certain choices in life, even when they are difficult. Many of the things we have to do will hurt other people, not because we want to hurt them, but because life puts us into circumstances in which hurt just cannot be avoided. I'm going to read that over because I know I butchered that. But it says, I will not abandon my financial responsibilities as a father, and I also hope that I can teach my children through my example that it is important to make certain choices in life, even when they are difficult. Many of the things we have to do will hurt other people, not because we want to hurt them, but because life puts us into circumstances in which hurt just cannot be avoided. Y'all, Mark is like, listen, I'm going to take care of my responsibilities. Those are still my children. I'm still going to foster a relationship with them. I still hope to be able to support my ex-wife as we co-parent. But I'm no longer people-pleasing. Again, this ain't got to be about a marriage or a relationship in terms of man and woman and children and all that as a family. That dynamic can look different for different people, but I'm not gonna be putting my emotional, mental, physical, sexual, romantic, spiritual health on the line anymore for the sake of showing up as the man of the house type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are ways that I can be able to still provide as I should and live a fulfilled, happy, healthy, and whole life. And I can no longer go along and get along and show up in a way that I'm neglecting myself for the sake of making everybody else happy. So yes, family matters, but at what cost? Family matters, but who's the family? What's the family dynamic and the health of the family dynamic that you're choosing to show up in? Because family ain't necessarily blood, boo. Some of us, as part of our sacred contract, signed up to come to this 3D reality, Earth School, this planet at this very time in life, to experience having a neglectful wife or a needy mother or a absent father, an abusive brother. Like, we signed up for this shit, believe it or not, so that we can get that character development that helps us to move forward on our journey more aligned with our life purpose and in touch and in tune with our higher self, which the higher self is the version of us that existed before we were tainted by the different experiences that we've had throughout different lifetimes and trauma and things that have fractured our souls. There's a such thing called soul retrieval in shamanism, where you do the work to call back those parts of you that you lost when you went through traumatic experiences, grief and death and accidents, and just not just in this lifetime, but in other lifetimes. There are ways to call those things back. That's why it's important that we do the energy work and have the spiritual connection and health that we should, and that we surrender anything that's standing in the way of that. Because for many of us, we're not showing up as our whole self as a result of continuing to be traumatized. And some of that shit, a lot of that shit, we're choosing. But now that you have this information, you don't have to, right? You don't have to be disempowered. You can be empowered. to learn to be your best self, to show up as your best and your highest self, and in alignment with your life purpose, and in alignment with whoever you're meant to live your life purpose out with, and align with your soul family, opposed to the family that you chose to learn those hard lessons through. You're going to learn some lessons with your soul family, but soul family is also people who are going to support you as you move through those hard lessons. They're not going to be people you're pouring into, cups that you're pouring into with holes in them. You definitely want to be mindful of those concepts in your life. And you want to be mindful, for those of you who are, and I just had this conversation with a client who also happens to be a good friend of mine, about how when you're in dynamics and children are involved, I know my generation and many other generations before that were raised on do as I say and not as I do. And that's why so many of us are fucked up now. Because we were told, do it this way, this is the right way, you bet not do that, you bet not go over there, you bet not use this, you bet not pick up this habit, you bet not live like this. But then those dictates came from parents who did those exact things or similar things and showed us the very opposite of what to do. And what did that do? That showed us by example how to live our lives, that it's okay to talk that talk and not walk that walk. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to not live up to the standard of what is said to be the right way of living. You know what I'm saying? So we don't want to keep that going. That's part of our elevation, breaking those generational curses of do as I say and not as I do. You want to show your children that, hey, I'm not happy, I'm not healthy, I don't feel whole, I'm not fulfilled, and that is important. You can get all the money in the world. You can get married and live up to all of these patriarchal standards. You can go to church every Sunday and Sunday school on Wednesdays. You can volunteer at the homeless shelter and do the things that society says makes you an upstanding citizen, and still not be happy when you have not done the things to make sure that you are fulfilled, especially spiritually. If your soul ain't right, if you are not pouring into cups that overflow and that pour into you instead of cups that have holes in it. So you definitely want to live by example for your children and those around you, opposed to by the do as I say, not as I do concept, right? I promise y'all I'm gonna pull some cards, but I told y'all I done had buku downloads, so we definitely got to get that out the way first, because God don't allow those type of things to come into my experience for me not to share them. And we don't always need the goddamn cards, right? Those are just a tool. People don't understand, as an intuitive, as a reader, as a high priestess, I can read your energy without them damn cards now. So we want to be mindful of being dependent on the cards as well, because there may be some times where I come down here and bring forth a message and ain't a card in sight. Like this one could be that, but I want to pull some cards. I just need to keep the time under, we aiming for about 40 minutes. So I'm going to finish this passage. So Mark said, I will try to teach them all I can from this, and I am prepared for them to reject me. But I hope that rejection will not last forever. Still, I am grateful that I have what it takes to stand on my own 2 feet in this lifetime. For many of you, you have very big decisions to make, and you've known what those decisions are for a long time, but you're afraid of rejection. And since I'm talking to divine masculines, even though masculine energy is in feminines as well, I'm going to get even more particular and say that for many of you, that rejection comes from your abandoned, neglected inner child wounds, that little boy that went without emotional nurturance or attention, or for some of you, even the physical necessities that you needed: food, water, shelter, safety. You may want to look into Maslow's hierarchy of needs to assess as a child, like where might you have gone without, or living on the bare minimum, living in survival mode, and therefore that contributed to you being an adult who is fighting that. and places more value on that for your children or in your family dynamic, and therefore putting your emotional and spiritual needs on the back burner. We got to start at the root, y'all. We can't start at the leaves, the branches, the fruit. We got to get to the root of these issues so that we can be able to flourish and blossom and align with abundance. So it says our archetypal patterns are only part of the vast stores of soul knowledge inherent in our 8th chakra. The 8th chakra calls you to find God. It draws you into seeking your higher potential. It helps you see your life as a spiritual journey disguised as a physical experience. Your passion to live a meaningful life. Your need to make peace with your conscience. These yearnings are all expressions of the soul speaking through your intuition, through your chakras of body and mind. Follow their promptings and you will find your sacred country. I said all of this to get to this very point. Many of you are very divinely discontent with where you are in life and who you with and how you showing up in your day-to-day activity and things that you're pouring into and the people that you're pouring into. And it's designed to be that way because it is out of alignment with where you're supposed to be, with whom you're supposed to be, and what you're supposed to be doing. And that's a very good place to be in, even though it don't feel good, even though it is requiring that you make some major moves. That is you showing up and saying, God is my life, my light, my creator. I place nothing above that, which means the God in me. I place nothing and nobody above that. Not even your children, not even your wife, not even your siblings, not even your parents. The God within you deserves to shine. The Jesus within you deserves to shine. And in order to do that, there are some attachments and some cords that need to be cut that are keeping you low vibrational, draining your energy, and keeping your aura cloudy and muggy and not allowing you to show up in your full brightness. And so you definitely want to be mindful of that as you move through these difficulties that are leading you to a more higher vibrational and version of yourself and more vitality. Now, I think I covered everything. No, I didn't. So basically, this is like with this family matter situation. Oh, shit. There was one other synchronicity. This is going to be long as shit. I might as well do 2 parts. The other family matters reference that came through, a synchronicity that came through, is this song that just dropped by Drake. There was a diss track to it. Kendrick Lamar. I read the lyrics to the song. I have not listened to it. I'm not a huge Drake fan, so I'm sure I'll listen to it, but I ain't in no hurry. But from what I read, it was just an expression of toxic masculinity. You know what I'm saying? They ranting and raving and all this drama about some petty shit, right? And sometimes that's the case in these dynamics too when it comes to family matters. Like, does this shit really matter, or is there like a lot of unnecessary drama? You know what I'm saying? And can't nobody stop that but you. So be mindful of how your toxic masculinity may be showing up, your ego showing up, trying to be right instead of choosing to be at peace with yourself. Stop worrying about looking like a sucker or somebody calling you out. And you know, being a warrior has that warrior archetype. It has its light and its dark aspect. So in its light, you're fighting for what's worthy of your time, attention, and your energy and what you value. But in its dark, you're just showing up to stroke your ego and trying to be right and don't want to be the one that's at fault. And even like in this passage that I read, not wanting to hurt nobody's feelings. That is the warrior in its or fighting, being like a rebel without a cause, just fighting to be fucking fighting, arguing and causing discord or participating in discord for the fuck of it. So be mindful of how you're showing up in that way as well. So there's literally 4 synchronicities that came up that referenced family matters. So reading that passage, the words family matters literally was in it, as Mark was talking about getting this divorce, why, and how he's thought this thing through. So for many of you, you may be going through separations of some sort or thinking about it. And I was seeing the number 1212, which may be significant to you guys, which is symbolic of getting out of your comfort zone and getting into alignment. I also saw 1221, which may be an angel number that's significant, which represents that mirroring. If you're in a twin flame dynamic of some sort, because both parties are possibly going through experiences that are calling them to get out of their comfort zones in order to align with one another and live out their divine mission. But for you all, this basically boils down to the battle between your higher self and your lower self, and not allowing your lower self to take home the belt, as they say in boxing or in wrestling, right? You gotta keep fighting for your higher self to emerge and to take the wheel, as they say. So there were a couple of songs that were symbolic as well, synchronistic as well. And the second one, not the first one, because the Family Matter song was the first one. But Circles by Post Malone stood out to me. Damn, I promise y'all, I heard the song. I was like, that stands out to me, but I didn't read the lyrics. So we exploring this pretty much for the first time together. But it says, we couldn't turn around till we were upside down. I'll be the bad guy now, but no, I ain't too proud. I couldn't be there even when I tried. You don't believe it. We do this every time. Seasons change and our love went cold. Feed the flame because we can't let it go. Run away, but we're running in circles. Run away, run away. I dare you to do something. I'm waiting on you again, so I don't take the blame. Run away, but we're running in circles. Wow. Let go. I got a feeling that it's time to let go. I say so. I knew that this was doomed from the get-go. You thought it was special, but it was just the sex though. And I still hear the echoes. I got a feeling that it's time to let it go. Seasons change and our love went cold. Feed the flame because we can't let it go. Okay, that's the lyrics. Maybe you don't understand what I'm going through. It's only me. What you got to lose? Make up your mind. Tell me, what are you going to do? It's only me. Let it go. Run away, but we're running in circles. Some of y'all are in situations where you're not getting nowhere. It's not fruitful. It's not productive. It's keeping you stuck, stagnant, or running in circles. And it's time to get off the hamster wheel. I promise y'all, I heard like the first few lines of this song and I was like, okay, divine masculines. And I did not know these lyrics were this in sync with the message that's coming forward. But we also had, and this came to me weeks ago, and I took a picture of it, of the lyrics, and put it in my phone. So as I was going through my phone, because I'm running out of storage yesterday, I ran across and I was like, oh shit, divine masculine energy. And so this song is Can't Stay by Dave Hollister, which I love that man. If y'all ain't up on Dave Hollister, you need to get up on that Dave Hollister. So Can't Stay by Dave Hollister's Girl, I gotta go, I can't stay. You said things would change, but things are still the same. Girl, I gotta go, I can't stay. We stay together, putting the front on. I'd rather be on my own. When we first met, things were fine. We went out to dine, we strolled the beach, holding hands, sharing quality time. What happened between then and now? The love we shared was lost somehow. My friends tried to tell me that we're But how could I know that the feelings would pass? It wouldn't last. I know I should have left a long time ago. Yo, the siren. I told y'all on Saturdays at 12 o'clock, the siren in my city goes off. But that very much speaks to the presence of Archangel Michael and the urgency of the message that is coming forward. Baby, it's time. And I'm seeing this in a lot of masculine energies. Like, it's time to stop entertaining the shit that you've been entertaining and pouring into cups with holes in it. These songs that I heard at different instances are all pointing to letting some shit go, some shit that you been knew was a rap, but you kept trying to show up like society told you you're supposed to show up, because that is what a man is supposed to do. And your higher self is like, no, let me show you what it is to be a real man according to God's standards, and restore all that the locust has stolen from you. Because one of the things that the locust has stolen from you is your true identity as a warrior, as a divine masculine energy. So y'all check out those lyrics. There's one more song before I move on. You guys are basically burying this old version of yourself. So I know this process may be testing the shit out of you, but know that you have my support, and that is why I come down here for free 99 to bring y'all this information, because it's all part of the grand design. So the other song is I Wanna Be Loved by Eric Benet. I wanna be loved, faithful and true. Okay, let's see. Love once left me cold and gray. I almost reached heaven just to feel it slip away. But life's too short to waste away, being scared to take chances, or so I've heard wise men say. I want to be loved, faithful and true. I want to be loved 10 million lifetimes with you. I want to be loved, and after all I've been through, I let my heart take its chances just to be loved by you. Taste, touch, hear, see, feel me now, girl. And you'll know I'm so ready to exchange lifelong vows. Yes, I am. Because now you've shown me how God has smiled on this chance and this moment. For this I've prayed all my life. I want to be loved, faithful, and true. Okay, so that's the chorus. I want to feel there's a reason for living again. I want us to fly far away, and I want my heart to sing the words only you can understand. So put your hand in mine, say a prayer tonight so that we may find love. And after all I've been through, I let my heart take a chance just to be loved by you. I let my heart take a chance just to be loved by you. Okay, so that's the end of the song. So this is someone who you're motivated to leave one connection because of the love that you found in another connection. True love. No longer playing house, going along to get along, but actually seeing the potential in a situation, a past life situation, because this man talks about 10 million lifetimes with you. We've done this before, and I'm ready to do it again. Millions more times. As a man, you all are not taught to take care of your emotional health, to prioritize love, but you're deserving of it. And so this song very much speaks to someone coming to understand that by way of being in an uncomfortable situation, but having comfort within their reach, being motivated by that comfort. Love once left me cold and gray. That's healing a broken heart, bitterness, and wanting to actually show up for a love connection. There's another song, After the Storm, by Kylie Ukis. I'm gonna put that on the hope I'm saying her name right, but I'm gonna put that one on the description on the community board. As somebody is being encouraged by divine feminine energy to step forward into the balancing of their masculine and feminine energy, and to be a more healthy and whole individual, regardless of what changes needs to be made and how what steps need to be taken in that way. Instead of playing the victim in your life, be the emperor. Instead of trying to control things that you can't control, be the authority in situations that you can control, and that is taking control of your life in a way that aligns with where the divine is trying to lead you and steers you in a to a healthier lifestyle, to living in Christ consciousness. So 1231 may be an angel number. 1234 may be an angel number, and 144, which is symbolic of the frequency of Christ consciousness, may be a angel number for you guys. I ain't pulling no cards. I'm gonna get y'all a crystal prescription and we gonna be done. So Spirit, what crystal would you have the divine masculine collective work with at this time, as they are on their journey to living a more whole life, having the desire to be loved and to give love, and no longer wanting to settle for less than. Satyaloka Rose Azudalite. Ascension of the heart, divine love, adherence to the heart's truth, and vibrational ascension. Those are the key words that are relative to this crystal. And the element is storm, because this is definitely like a storm coming through to clear out all that does not serve you and lead you to a more aligned, healthier connection, life, way of showing up in love, happiness, fulfillment. It works with the heart chakra, the third eye chakra, and the crown chakra. So definitely fine-tuning your spiritual connection. And it says, spiritually, Satyaloka Rose Azudalite brings forth the heart as the sovereign center of one's being. It fills one's body, mind, and spirit with divine love, and it teaches one to hear and express the truth of the heart. Y'all are no longer going to be able to move forward ignoring your feelings. You're being taught and catalyzed to live from your heart. Emotionally, Satyaloka Rose Azudalite saturates the emotional body with love and pleasure, sometimes bringing one into states of ecstasy. Know that you deserve that. You deserve more than just busting a nut. You deserve more than just playing with a few titties, having a few threesomes, going on a few dates. You deserve to experience ecstasy. And in order to do that, you have to align mind, body, and soul. And again, stop pouring into them cups with them fucking holes in them. Stop putting your own needs and happiness on the back burner for what you think is going to fulfill others. And when I say others, I mean not discriminating. Stop putting other people before you. Physically, Satyaloka Rose Azudalite supports the heart and brain, as well as filling all of the cells with love energies. It can trigger a release of nectar from the pineal gland. And the affirmation is, I allow my heart to resonate with divine love, and I joyfully surrender to the heart's truth. The divine is trying to show you all the difference between divine love and the story that this world has sold you of what it looks like to love. That love for a man looks like sacrificing yourself for everybody else. So I hope this message found y'all well. If it did not find you well, I hope that it leaves you well. I'm just under 50 minutes. If you are needing a personal reading, feel free to email me at turquoisemajesty@gmail.com. Yeah, that's it. turquoisemajesty@gmail.com. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe down below if something was said that resonates with you. If you'd like to donate, that information is in the description box. And until next time, y'all, peace.